because during May, I'm going to finally tackle the MegaMan X series. All 8 games until I finish them. The MegaMay X Marathon. Stick around on this channel for the month of May, as it is going to be the MegaMay Marathon, where I finally play through the MegaMan X series. We'll see how many of them I can actually get through this month, but we're definitely going to try. Well, that certainly was a fucking decision. Let's talk about MegaMay X. The Switch 2 took a lot out of the budget, so I had to make cuts somewhere. Get used to it. For those of you that don't already know, I am a huge fan of classic Mega Man. I've played all 11 entries multiple times and have enjoyed almost every playthrough. So naturally, after playing the classic games so many times, I would look into the sequel series, MegaMan X. I actually found a Super Nintendo in my grandmother's basement when she was cleaning it out, along with a physical copy of MegaMan X. I cleaned it all up, turned it on, played for about 20 minutes, left it, and never returned. I really didn't know why, but I just was not immediately hooked with the game. And I would pass on multiple opportunities to give it another shot. I got a Super Nintendo Classic, never revisited. X Legacy Collection dropped, I ignored it. It wasn't until I was making my plans for this year to show in my 2024 highlights video where I finally decided to give the series a shot. I mean, I've gone through Mega Man 4, 5, and 8 multiple times, and I don't think too highly of those games. What's the harm in trying these out? And last month, I streamed my first ever playthrough of Mega Man X 1 through 4 on the Legacy Collection on Steam. I knew that X5 through X8 are widely considered to be much lower quality, and I had a lot of things come up around my streaming dates. So you might be wondering, I like classic Mega Man as well. Do you recommend trying out the X series? And my short answer to you is fuck the hell no. There's a huge difference between the series that I'll cover along the way. So let's start from the top. The stories of Mega Man games have always just kinda sucked, and I had no reason to give a shit about it for these. Also, I'm gonna go through these one by one because the differences between the classic series and the X series is apparent across all 4 games. So I'm just gonna cover the big ones in X1 and then do the differences in the games afterwards. So here we are, Mega Man X. Immediately you notice the game layout is largely the same. 8 levels with 8 bosses, gain their weapons after beating them to up your arsenal, and use them as other bosses' weaknesses, leading to a final sequence of levels with new bosses, a boss rush, and the big bad Sigma. This is where the similarities between the series ends. There's no slide, no rush, no shop, and there's no E-tanks. There's no E-tanks. Mega Man X brings a lot of new innovations to the formula. A full-on dash, armor upgrades, health upgrades, and sub-tanks. I loaded up the game and picked Chill Penguin because I remember that's who I chose originally. I got through the level, loved using the dash across everything, and then realized why I left the game all those years ago. This boss was absolutely stomping me. I wasn't sure if I was just that bad or if he was just that difficult, but it didn't really matter because holy shit, my health bar is tiny. Then there's the other immediate problem. Not only is there a dedicated dash button, but double tapping a direction will also start a dash. Why would you do that? You literally cannot microspace in this game. X wants to ram his face into every wall and kill whatever is in front of him. I eventually got the hang of this and then began to pick up the rest of the game. The rest of the levels went by real well, except this mini-boss in Spark Mandrill and pretty much all of the water level, including the boss. This bastard just doesn't stun from his weakness, and I have no idea how to use the weapon. But alright, the levels are done. I've got a sub-tank and an armor upgrade that halves the damage. These bosses are annoying, but I got through with enough patience. Time to beat Sigma Zat. What the hell was that all about? Okay, let me tell you about my huge problem with MegaMan X. This game doesn't prepare you for the difficulty curve that is Sigma. And it doesn't inform you of where upgrades might be, or the fact that they are mandatory to complete the fucking game unless you're just a god. Alright? I didn't find a single health upgrade because I never looked for them. I didn't find all the armor or sub-tanks because I didn't revisit a single stage. I thought I was playing a Mega Man game, not a fucking Metroidvania. That's my big problem. The collectibles being a requirement rather than a reward, and the fact that some of the rewards are just things that we had before, but worse. Why do I have to upgrade my health to match the original Mega Man? What was wrong with E-Tanks? Why are the sub-tanks actual dog shit? These are filled up by grabbing health drops when your health is full and gives you a reserve to heal at any point. There's 3 big problems with this design, and it occurs across 3 of the 4 games. If you have any damage, you will not fill up the sub-tank at all. With how fast X wants to move, you're gonna take quite a few hits, meaning you're not getting many drops to go into the tank. Not that it means anything, because the refill rates on these things are terrible! The same pickup that gives me half of my health does maybe a fifth of the tank. What the hell kind of math is that? Sub-tanks are also finite. There are only 4 of them across the game, and there's no other way to obtain them. You have to find them in their designated location to obtain them. Unlike the E-tanks that eventually went up to 9, fully healed at any point, and you had multiple ways to get them. This game pretty much requires you to do one of 2 things. Play the Mega Man game like a completely different genre, or use a code to give yourself everything at the start and play on the so-called easy mode. After the shit I witnessed in X1, I decided to do the latter for the other 3 games. It's such an insane bell curve of quality. The middle 80% of the game was such a blast to go through, but the starting and the ending is utter horseshit. But, you know, that's the first game. Surely they learned from their mistakes, and surely it wouldn't happen into any of the other games. Alright, Mega Man X2, let's do things a little bit differently this time. Knowing how much shit there is to collect, and how little I want to do it, I've got the perfect plan, thanks to the Angry Video Game Nerd and Billy Mitchell.
You're familiar with Billy Mitchell, World Video Game Champion? He could probably do it, so I gotta find a way to harness his power, and I think I found a way.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
Alright, now I've got all the armor upgrades, all the health and sub-tanks, let's get it. Now clearly the game is going to be easier due to the charge shot, going ape shit with this armor. This is actually really fucking busted. But I am happy to say once again that I enjoyed the levels that I played through, with the exception of these instant kill obstacles though. I'm used to these being around from the classic games, but holy shit did they really like them in the computer level, the crystal level, and definitely the final gauntlet. I unfortunately messed up and didn't get all of Zero's parts along the way. I quite literally missed one because I didn't know where the freaking X-Hunter was. So I got a very fun finale. This boss can kiss my ass though. It took way too long to figure out how to actually hurt him in the end. But alright, final stage. Surely this will go better than last time. God damn it! So once again, I am absolutely fucked at the end because these sub-tanks just refuse to fill up. Zero is such a piece of shit to try and kill with his weakness, and his weakness is the same for one of Sigma's phases, so you're fucked one way or the other. 0 out of 2, Mega Man. These final bosses can blow me. On to the next game. Mega Man X3, why were people immediately warning me that you sucked? I understand with the music, this is definitely a step back from the bangers in X1 and X2. And you know what? Let me go back on that real quick before people think that I just do nothing but shit on these games. The soundtracks in X1 and X2, absolute bangers. I was loving majority of those tracks. They fucking cooked with that. But in X3, huge step off in quality. I did enjoy the ice level though. It's hard for me to hate an ice level, except Iceman. We know what Iceman did. Gameplay-wise, though, This was my favorite set of levels of the 3. I had so much fun using the broken armor and just blasting my way through everything. The right armor was a bit repetitive, but I just picked Kangaroo and kept on blasting. The other thing that made the game so much fun was this. What is that doing? Oh. Alright, we're gonna sit here for a bit. That's apparently filling my sub-tanks. Auto-filling sub-tanks should be a staple in the series, even if it's just for one of them. This helped with so many boss fights and actually made many of the bullshit parts more enjoyable because I could just heal through it. Surely, with this kind of power and survivability, there's nothing that's gonna stop me from finishing this game. What the hell is this, man? This giant-ass boss, but his only weak spot is this tiny-ass head? How do you manage to give me so many options and then make them irrelevant in the end again, dude? What a disaster. Like, who the hell signed off on these being acceptable? MegaMan X4, please, for the love of God, tell me we have a winner here. Yes. Yes, we do. We can't immediately get every heart tank and sub-tank, but we do get access to the ultimate armor, and now we could smash our face, dick, and balls into everything and just fucking annihilate any challenge. Yeah, X4 was by far the easiest of the games that I played, but I was braced for whatever the hell was gonna happen at the end of it all. I was not gonna fall for that shit again. These levels were a blast to run through, and I found most of the upgrades along the way. Obviously not all of them, because I'm not exploration inclined in a game like this, but they were definitely a lot more noticeable this time, so I decided to go after them. The music was also being back to being really damn good, and something about this movement felt really damn good, especially with being originally on the PS1. Maybe MegaMan 8 just sucked that bad on movement, because this game absolutely shits on the idea of bad movement. Alright, we got through all the levels, all of which were really damn fun again, and we got through all the ending levels. Yeah, these were pretty secondary and just kind of enemy spam, but I actually liked going through these levels as X this time, and the bosses were kind of a joke to fight. Alrighty, we got the laughable cutscenes out of the way. Time to actually kill Sigma this time, right? Surely, with how broken this armor is, I can find a way. Motherfucker! Oh shit, I actually did it! Hell yeah! This fight is super doable, but it's still pretty repetitive and dull at the end. And only because this blob has the weirdest fucking hurt box I have ever seen. Ultimate Armor, you made this game such a joy to go through. Thank you. I hope you are just as broken in the future entries. I want to stress that I did enjoy my time overall trying out these games. I just have a huge problem with that giant difficulty curve if you played through the game incorrectly when nothing told you to do otherwise. I may go back to the other half next year, but I've got a lot that I want to finish getting through this year first. I want to get to Sonic Colors Ultimate still. I've got Doom 2 and Doom 64 to play, and I still gotta go through Legends Arceus at some point. And of course, anything that piques my interest with this beautiful bastard. Yep, I was thankfully lucky enough to finally get one of these, and it was certainly a hassle, but I do now own a Switch 2, and I have a lot of things that I would like to play for the channel on this. Of course, there's Mario Kart World, and eventually Kirby Air Riders, and Legends ZA. But I also want to finally play through Hades 2 when it's finished, and finally experience Deltarune. If Silksong miraculously releases this year, I may take a peek at it, but we all know that's not gonna fucking happen. I can't promise for what I'm going to do for full-on videos at this point, except for Marvel Rivals, Shadow, and the 2025 highlights at the end. But I will at least have a stream for everything that I've mentioned before if I don't go the route of a video. We'll see what happens, but thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who tuned into the streams for this video. It was awesome to have people to talk to while Sigma was just absolutely farming my ass. Enjoy whatever dumb outro I came up with this time. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.